Hello, good morning, everyone. It's Bosses and Breakfast. It's Wednesday. We're really excited for all of you that are here with us this week. So say hi. Hi, my addict Chess and Melissa and Rachel and Junk Chic. Oh, I like that. Upstate New York. I might head that way for apple picking this weekend. Ariana in Utah. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hey,
You
so
get the headband memo?
oh, I did. It's looking rough this morning, so I was like, a headband shall cure this.
Anyone else wearing a headband and or a hat today?
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
It's like a thing now. I go live and I sneeze.
Or I choke, one or the other,
Or that.
Mhm.
How you doing?
I kind of don't feel that great right this second.
Would you like to take off this morning?
Mm.
You can.
It's okay. I just popped some Tylenol.
Okay. Do we want to tell people why you're not feeling well?
Sure. Why not? Right?
Okay. Should we go? Are you ready to go live on Instagram?
Yes.
Minna has COVID, my friends.
I tested positive. I wasn't having symptoms, but I couldn't smell. So I went and got tested. And of course, but I'm still eating. I can still taste. I'm still hungry, per usual. I'm definitely tired though. And today I was, I got tested on Monday. So I found out on Monday, but it was on Sunday that I was putting on lotion from, actually it's a lotion, lavender sage lotion from Lauren, actually our team member that she sent us to relax ourselves. So every night I put on that lotion and I'm like, oh, it smells kind of like the spa. It's exactly like the smell that I really love. And I was thinking, I was putting it on, I was like, oh gosh, it ran out of smell because like essential oils sometimes run out of smell. And so then I was like, oh, this lotion doesn't smell like anything. Then I realized it was me. I couldn't smell things. So I went and got tested and I have COVID. But here's the crazy thing. I was 100% sure it's from my daughter.
Because this girl, it's not like Minna leaves her office. You all know we were with you all week last week.
So I was like, it's from this girl going to school. Because she's been sniffly too. And I thought it was for sure from her. Anyways, they got tested. They got tested twice. They did the at-home spit test and they did the swabbing in their little tiny noses and they're negative. So I'm
We're both
quarantining
test
from
negative?
they haven't gotten back that other one
Okay.
yet, but they should. Today's Wednesday. They should today.
Yeah.
And then they'll get retested. I think my husband said he wants to retest them on Friday again. But so anyways, I've been quarantining and this morning, so I was texting Layla because I haven't been around her, but I cuddle with her all the time. I put her to sleep. That's why I thought for sure this is the girl that gave me COVID. And so then I texted her last night and I was like, I miss our cuddling and a whole bunch of cry faces. She's on Messenger Kids. It's like for children. And she texted me this morning and it was me too and a whole bunch of cryy faces back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have a genius daughter who knows how to text me back. And
because she's 6.
Yeah. And at the same time, I was like, man, it's only been 2 days. How am I going to last 10?
Got to like a year ago when people were like, get me away from my kids. Maybe even like 6 months ago.
Yeah. This morning, because they haven't been going to school, they were fighting. Remember how I told you they were doing that milestones thing of it's the 26th day of school. Well, they've lost track because they haven't gone to one day. They were fighting this morning about, no, it's the 26th. No, it's the 27th, And so, yeah, that's when milestones go wrong.
When milestones go wrong.
I could hear them screaming outside my door.
Like I said, though, you all will have like superpowers. You'll be able to leave the house like after this and live your best lives. So
yeah, I've been working off and on. So,
Yeah. But you're still here on Bosses and Breakfast.
Here I am. I got, my world's best boss mug.
You are the world's best boss. Okay. Do you feel prepared to go onto Instagram?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Man. What are we doing again?
Who am I?
Okay. Yes, I am. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So no slowing down over here, huh? COVID can't even take you out.
No, sure can't. Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, last Friday
So
when we were closing the doors up for launch, it was like, "Okay, we're gonna take off, like, the weekend and Monday."
mhm.
I'm gonna get sick and
Yeah.
then work through Monday.
No, well, I was tired this weekend and I thought,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh," which could be a symptom, feeling achy and stuff, but I thought for sure it was from the launch. And it's not to say it wasn't either.
She's like, "COVID or the launch." It could be one of
Yeah,
the
no, the
2.
smell thing was what I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh yeah, that's something."
Alright, so I'm gonna hope that my earphones work. I tested them, and it should work, and if not, I have a plugin for Instagram
Okay,
because you never know
perfect.
with
Yeah.
my Apple devices. So,
Yes.
should I start it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So if anybody says they can't make it to Bosses and Breakfast, I mean, come on, here
You're not
I
asking me to
am.
get out of bed or your pajamas. Just put on a
Yeah, you're not
headband.
on screen. Yeah, put on a headband and, join the live.
Good
Uh,
morning. It is Bosses and Breakfast Day. We have a fun day today with you all. Mina's going to join in just a couple of seconds. We're going to bring her up. We're going to chat all things Product Boss. We're going to chat about some of the cool things that are happening and take some questions probably towards the end. So stick with us and say hello if you're joining us on Instagram. Um, let's see. Let's get Mina up here. Okay. Sent you
Okay,
a
I can definitely
request.
tell my brain is slow though,
Well,
for sure. So I was like, okay, what do I do? Not that that's not different from any other week, but hello, good morning, Instagram.
so we were just letting our Facebook friends know, but Mina was diagnosed with COVID.
Diagnosed? You call it diagnosed?
What is it? Came down with?
I
Got
mean,
tested
tested
positive?
positive, yeah, for COVID, on Monday, and I am hanging in there. I mean, I actually wasn't sure. I thought I was just really tired from the lunch, but I couldn't smell my one lotion, and that was like for me, I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And then the next day I tried smelling this one like pumpkin candle, which we all know that pumpkin is like the true, that should be part of the COVID test. Smell, can you smell pumpkin or not? And I couldn't. So I got tested and I'm positive, and my kids got tested and they are negative, and I'm quarantining from them. And that was kind of the long story short of me missing my kids. And it's like, it's been 2 days, but that's 2 days I haven't put them to sleep. Usually, like, we spend the night times together. Like, that's my thing with them. Put them to bed every night, and I haven't. And I think that they're missing me
I
for
think
sure.
it's a question mark.
Yeah, they are for sure. They are.
Of course they are.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so speedy recovery. She's still
Thank you,
she's
guys.
still here with us today. I mean, oh my god, the things I'm saying. You're still showing up for bosses and breakfast. There's no Mina. I mean, Mina lays down in between things, but she's just been
Yeah,
going. So it's
but,
incredible. So thank you.
the quarantining, I think, is the hardest part because it's like I don't get to eat with them. I'm sleeping in my office. I literally am sleeping in this
Do you have a
office.
mattress in there?
I do. I just brought up that, like, mattress thing. My husband was like, "You could go sleep in the basement. We have, beds down there." And I was like, "I'm not going down there by myself."
What
Like,
are you, my kids?
I mean, it's a finished, nice basement, but I was just like, plus they go down there too, and I was like, "I'll just quarantine in the office." So I usually don't, like, default to the basement, so
Yeah, it's funny because my office is out of the basement and like we've been sharing like the home gym we're building down here, and
mhm.
a whole section of this basement is a playroom for the kids, but they're like, we're too scared to go to the basement by ourselves. So it's like, forget it. Like it's turning in this whole basement is turning into mine.
They won't even know. Don't even tell them. They'll come
I was like,
down
they already
like
put their toys in all the nice rooms and all the other
mhm,
places, like in my bathroom, which was like the one place I wanted that was my own. So it's like, well, maybe we'll turn it more into an art studio. Then,
yeah.
as they get older, they're kind of wanting less things. They're more
Yeah.
device, less things, I guess.
For sure. I mean, I think that they start to figure out what they want. Like, even my daughter, she's in fifth grade. For everybody, she started to play the alto saxophone. She's just into different things. There's like times where she'll still go play Legos and stuff like that. And she'll sometimes play like video games and stuff like that. But it definitely changes every year. There was
Yeah.
that year that she was really into basketball, Um,
You mean the year before COVID shut down
yeah,
all children's hopes and dreams?
yeah, essentially. And then, she had a, brief stint with tennis for a little bit, but I think that she's really been into saxophone. She's really been
Yeah.
into music, so we'll see what happens with that.
So Dana said, "Hey neighbor, Rockford here." Is that close to you or me?
I
We
don't
don't leave
know.
our neighborhoods. So
Um,
Mina grew up where she lives. I
like I said, when I see the neighbor, I go the opposite direction. So, Rockford, it could be Rockford, Illinois, perhaps. I don't know. Like neighbor as in very far neighbor.
close to the person who commented Chicago. What if I don't under I is Adriana, who is my literal neighbor, is Rockford close to us? Is it New Jersey? No, Chicago. Oh, I get it. Iowa and Chicago neighbors.
Mhm.
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah. See, I said, yeah, because it
Look at
is
you.
true. I always think of South Dakota and, you know, um, Nebraska and everybody as our neighbors too.
Yeah. SOS PJs has taken over. I love all these comments. So say
Oh,
hi on
thank you, everybody.
Instagram.
Thank you. Yes, please, everybody, send me good vibes. I cannot take work week off. Okay, so you're gonna need to channel some energy this way.
Okay, but you sent me this message this morning. I kind of want to read it. It was posted in the Multi-Stream Machine Facebook group.
Okay.
It was.
Are you sure though? Because she
I'm not saying
maybe
who
not
it's
say who it
from.
is. Oh
I'm
yeah,
not.
I wasn't sure she
Yeah.
was wanting us to share it.
No, no, no.
Mm.
So someone posted in the Multi-Stream Machine Facebook group. She just signed up last week for MSM and she shared her wins. And that's one of the things that we do around here at the Product Boss is we want you to start with your wins, for example. So
Mhm.
um I think a lot of times we move past our wins very quickly, or we don't take time to sit down and be like, this was a goal that I had set for myself and I did it, or just new wins. And so we really try and do that within multi-stream machine and within our masterminds where we were talking about like what's a win that you had. So she shared this in the group because she said, I'll read it. She's like, there's nowhere else I could share these like really cool things happening from my business. Which I'm glad that she was able to find that. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze again.
As long as I'm not choking, I'm fine.
It's like, we'll see. We'll see if you and I get through this.
Mhm.
Okay. So this person posted this into multi-stream machine group. I'm not going to read who it's from because she was actually doesn't feel comfortable sharing her wins necessarily. So she wrote, "Hi, new to multi-stream machine. I sell custom sugar cookies and 3D printed cookie cutters. I just wanted to share a couple wins as I don't feel comfortable sharing this anywhere else."
Oh, there
Right?
she is. She said you can share it. It's Arms Tina cookies. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Arms
Where
Tina
are you seeing
cookies
that on Instagram or
on
Facebook?
Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi. I
Hi.
just left you a message. Good day, Christina. Okay, so it's Christina from Armstina Cookies. So she says I can
Mhm.
share it. So congratulations, by the way. And she's watching live on Instagram, so
Mhm.
she will be able to be
Right.
congratulated by
And I
all
want
of
to
us.
make the comment of when that one comment that she thing that she made, but go ahead.
Okay, so she's so she said, I knew investing in multi-stream machine right now meant I was going to be able to really meant that I wasn't going to be able to really dive into too many modules as it's my busiest season. I started with the bonus modules, product descriptions, and 2K in 30 days. I also did the photo module. I implemented a few cost cutting things like cutting tissue paper in half and only adding what is necessary to packages. I saved $200 there alone. I also set up an abandoned cart coupon through Etsy and got a sale of $50 within an hour. I want to set up an entire sequence through my email, but I haven't had a chance to dive into that module yet. I also took some things from the 2K and 30-day bonus, like creating hype and FOMO around my launch, focusing on my bestsellers, and giving exclusive early access to email subscribers. I just launched my Halloween cookies and I'm currently at $550 in revenue. I got that revenue in 16 minutes. In short, I have made a total of $700 in less than 24 hours. It's a big win for me. Definitely excited to dive into more modules. Isn't that crazy?
I know it's crazy. And what I said, Christina, was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so proud." And my mother-in-law would be so proud if she knew that I was giving that tip of cut your tissue paper in half.
So is mine
Literally.
actually. Does your mother-in-law fold the paper,
Oh
like
my
put it back to
god,
use
like,
it?
she's the most, like, she reuses everything, she's just Tupperware is never thrown away, nothing like that, so I was like bursting at the seams. And I was like, and my mother-in-law would be proud too.
The Race Ready Obstacle says I'm working on SEO today. That module is gold. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because I know, and I was actually looking back through our DMs with her last week, and she was kind of like her uh, we were in conversation with a lot of you in the last few weeks about whether this is right for you and kind of answering your questions and talking through um what you would do. And so the conversation with Christina was definitely like, it's my busy season. I sell cookies. Does anyone else sell baked goods? Like, I'm not sure, if this is right for me at this point. So it was so cool is that she implemented only some of the bonus modules, which that 2K and 30-day bonus was essentially made to help you all, have cash injections or save money. And she just did that. I mean,
Mhm.
$700 in 24 hours
I
with
love it.
cookies. It's amazing. So congratulations, my friend. And thank you for sharing that
Yay,
win.
way to take action.
Yeah.
Because she said she bought multi-stream machine knowing that she wasn't be able to jump in, and she still jumped in as much as she could, and she was
Yeah.
able to take some action. So that's so awesome.
So
I
can
thought
we
that Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as you talk, could you
Mhm.
all share some wins? I'd love to know your wins. So anything that you've done in the last week, 2 weeks, something that's happened. It could be personal, it could be business, but share a win. Let's start off this Wednesday with some like positivity and like really kind of applauding each other. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mina.
I was gonna say, we had our masterminders meeting yesterday, and for all of you that don't know, our masterminders are anywhere from 100,000 to
2 million.
2 million, I would say. And we were talking to them, and yesterday we were talking to them about, what they needed from us right now. And one of them, all of them said that we would love to do like a holiday huddle for Visioning Day instead of, you know, Visioning Day like you do at the beginning of the year. So I thought we could go over a few things, just surface level, because we're going to be working through that with them next Tuesday. And I think that for all of you, as you go into this holiday season, it would be good for you to do just even like Christina, two of those 15 things that we're going to have them do, you know?
Yeah.
So one of the things is, I think,
Wait,
focusing on,
before you jump into it, can we read some of the wins?
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Before we dive right into all that. So
Uh-huh.
I love some of these. So um I know why I'm single. I was like trying to read that, and that's what it's called. This person's name is I know why I'm single. My win was buying MSM and catching that PR class. That was a big win. Yeah. There were the first 200. We had the special bonus that they had
Oh,
Q
and
and A.
Sabina is so great too,
Yeah.
right? For
Luna
all of you
Bella
that got that.
Bracelet says I received a new wholesale account and reorder in 1 week, which is a lot for her at the moment. Race Ready Obstacles, which they are a multi-stream student, said we had a revenue goal of 60,000 for this year and we're already at 72,000.
That's amazing.
Good job, friends.
And it's only
Um,
September.
maybe you all should be
Well,
in the mastermind. Let's
September 29th, but
Yeah.
still. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just Beyond the Cottonwoods, for the first time, I asked for emails at our market, and almost everyone who made a purchase signed up. I didn't think anyone would sign up, but I asked and they did. Good.
Oh, well, thank goodness.
Thank goodness you asked.
I know. It's like, I didn't think that anybody would do it. Yeah, through men, like, they're not going to do it unless you ask them,
Mhm.
So thank you, Nikki, for actually taking the action and asking them.
Armstina Cookies just gave us an update, so she's gonna have to go back to that Facebook group and set it. Now she said, "Update. I'm up to $1,300 in a little over than 24 hours. I've already covered basically the entire investment into a multi-stream machine."
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Oh,
I want to read this one from Hi K too because she
okay.
joined as well. Hey, Hi K. I contacted a local gallery and was accepted to show my art. Is that
Good
amazing? I
job.
have also created a beautiful watercolor Christmas card that is going to print today. That's amazing.
Amazing. Monica Delgado said, "My win was our brand feature in Cosmopolitan." That's cool.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Shop District 52. I finished MSM and now diving into the bonus content, implementing everything. This is the best program. That's so excited.
Yay, thank you.
Inspired Jules said, added a B sales channel and I'm updating my website to launch a couple in 2 weeks, 2 times my current business. Sorry.
I think if you scroll down, she rewrote it,
Okay.
maybe.
Adding a new sales channel and updating my website
Uh-huh.
to launch in a couple of weeks. I hope this will 2x to 3x my business. A great pivot as I started 6 months ago. Amazing.
That's awesome.
Um, on Instagram, Kristen says I was one of the 200 to join first for Multi-Stream Machine during the Rocket Holiday promotion. I had a vendor show last weekend, so I skipped to the in-person selling module. I told myself I would be out front of my booth and approach people. I made my money back for the show within the first 30 minutes, and I made more than I had at any vendor show I had been in so far.
Oh my gosh, that's
Kristen,
amazing.
I love it. Listen, usually we get these like results. We're not like asking for the MSM results, but usually we'll like hear about it, give us 2 weeks, maybe like 30 days, but look
Mhm.
at these like amazing wins that are happening even
I
from those of you
know.
that implemented quite quickly.
Yeah.
These are so cool. It doesn't isn't this a great way to start Wednesday, everyone? Like to really
Mhm.
feel better. Micah said, my win may sound small, but it's big. I won confidence since discovering the product boss and investing in multi-stream machine. I registered as a business. I'm registered as a business and have been making moves. The knowledge has made me feel so much more confident in everything. I fixed my prices and feel so good about it. I used to have people approach me at craft fairs and tell me I needed to raise my prices, but I never felt confident enough to do it. When your own customers are telling you that your stuff is too cheap, not laughing at you, but
Yeah,
like,
no, no. Been there, right?
yeah.
Because especially in person, but it's like I'm laughing because who has the nerve to tell people to raise their prices?
Either to raise them or to lower them. Like your stuff is too
Like
expensive.
even if I think it, I would never be like, "Oh my gosh, your stuff is too cheap," or whatever. But yes, good. That's amazing, Micah or Mika. Let us know in the comments how we pronounce your name.
Mina's
Um,
mom would walk up and be like, "These prices are too expensive." But
she would no, my mom would 100% be like, "Well, this is priced correctly. In fact, I could make this for less." 100%. That's my mom. So, the like she just this woman is just wild. Okay, she just has her own way of raising us. I gotta say.
Grace says, I'm 5K away from doubling my sales from last year, and I'm on track to meet that by the end of October. Can't wait to see how much faster I can do that after jumping to MSM. That's so exciting. Um, have you shared your hair bow deets? Do you know where you got these
Oh,
headbands?
these I think TJ Maxx. These have
Actually,
been a while.
you didn't buy me
Was
this
it
one. I bought this
Express?
one.
It's like I have so
Mina,
many
Mina
headbands.
buys me all my accessories.
Yeah, right. I would get us twin stuff. And by the way, we had twin these too, that I got her. So basically, if I find something, I'll usually get her the twin one.
It's
Um,
a Mika, like
oh, it's like Shamika.
Shamika is
Oh,
her full. Yeah,
awesome.
perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Um, okay, cool. So, all right. So, real quick, we're going to be sending out a survey in the next couple of days to all of you on our email list. We're going to for those of you that did not sign up for Multi-Stream Machine, because we've got questions. We want to know perhaps why you didn't, and just kind of get feedback, because what we always teach our students and we teach all of you is to audit, right? So when you do these launches, when you do holiday sales, we taught this in Rock Your Holiday Promotions Challenge, but when you do this, you always want to kind of audit and look back and say, how did it go? What was the reason? A lot of you might do this in surveys like post sales. You might have post sale emails that go out that are like, hey, how is our order? Like, can you take this quick 2-minute survey? So ours is literally like one question that you click on. So not a big deal. But
Yeah.
we're going to send that out tomorrow and kind of gauge where everyone's at, and how else we can continue to support you through this holiday season. So that's going out. Is anyone on here? If anyone here is making over $100,000 up to a couple $1 million and is interested in learning about more about the mastermind, you can drop a comment. We have just a couple of spots opening up for starting in October. We have several applications that have come through, but just if anyone here is interested in the mastermind, let us know.
Mhm.
There
And it's
are,
really specific spots. Like we have 4 that are open for the 100 to 250, for example,
mhm,
so if you're approaching 100 or you're, wanting to get to multiple 6 figures, we only have 4 spots for
mhm.
that. And
Yeah.
then, so raise your hand if that's you. And then if you're beyond 250, we have spots for you as well.
Bakery Tico says, I'd be curious. Are you still curious? Because I have like a leak in my mouth and just dripped all over. like, ooh,
Mm.
professional over here. Bakery Tico, would someone on the team, if you want to message her, Emily Gallardo is almost there. Can I get info? Yes. So there are what Mina was saying about that 100,000. There's 4 spots that are we would consider you if you're under 100,000, but you have a run rate of at least $8,000 a month, that there's like that you've had at least 3 months of that. We sometimes will pick certain business owners and certain businesses that we see the momentum behind and that we can help develop and get you all to over 6 figures quite quickly. So there's very few spots for that. That is not the majority of the mastermind are 6 figure, multi 6 and 7 figure product bosses, but we put you into small group cohorts, which means that you're with other people making the same revenue as you. Plus it's a mixed group. And so it's really something that's awesome to kind of, really kind of level you up. So
Mhm.
Alex and Karen says, when's the next one after October? I would tell you, if you're interested, it is really important that you get your applications in, because we will go through those in order. So if we have a couple spots open right now and you are a fit for it, we would let you know. Otherwise, it's best to have it in, because, for example, if we have another spot open up in November or December, we will go to that list first, come to you,
Mhm.
see if you qualify, and consider for the mastermind, and then we would go down that list. So if you're interested in any sort of way, I'd get your application in.
Yeah, we consider according we look at the spots according to revenue level. So you're placed into small cohorts according to revenue level. That's why they're spot specific. So yeah, definitely get your application in. Otherwise, you know, we don't know if there's going to be a
Yeah,
spot.
and we don't want you to get missed, right? So if a
Yeah.
spot becomes available within your revenue level, you will get that option. We will let you know if there's a spot. If you pass it up, it may not come back to you. So, for example, if you get your application in and you want in on this, because it's really one of the only masterminds of its kind, for product bosses, that has this mixed group of revenue levels, but also different types of products, and gets to work with us. And it's our highest level of touch, meaning Mina and I work as coaches with you plus the group, right?
Mhm.
So you do not have to be a multi-stream machine student to apply. You
Yeah,
can,
somebody asked if you have to do multi-stream machine beforehand. No, you don't. But like Emily, for example, is a multi-stream machine student, and that's what's helped to get her to this level. So,
yeah.
you know, but there's probably half of the masterminders have multi-stream machine.
Yeah, so actually we've gotten a few questions from a few people that invested in a multi-stream machine in the last few weeks, and then they said, "Well, I took MSM, and like, is it one or the other?" Absolutely not. So if you're considering it, like May over here, she's like, "I'll pretend I didn't hear that." That would be my third or fourth, because May has been in
May, you
masterminds
would
with
love
us.
it. It's like
Yeah, you need
because
to
May
come
was
back,
in
my
our
friend.
very first one. No,
Yeah.
no. Yes, very first or
Yeah.
second. Anyway, she's been in a lot of them. So she'll get to see how different it is now too. And it's really the power of the people, like the meeting of the minds is really what a mastermind is. Plus, having myself and Jacqueline, I think it's just so beneficial.
Yeah. So those of you that are maybe thinking about it, or maybe you invested into MSM in the last few weeks, but you're like, is it one or the other? It's absolutely not. What we use MSM for within the mastermind is it tends to sort of be like it's a tool. So for all of you that signed up, it's a tool to get you to grow your revenue level, right? Like, it's to keep you growing. For those of you that would fit in the mastermind because your revenue level fits, right? And the mastermind would be a good fit for you, it's still a tool. Like Annika said last week that she's going back to MSM to go into the Amazon module to learn about that. Or when email discussions come up in the group, people are like, "Oh, go reference that part in multi-stream machine about the emails," because it will teach you step by step, versus the mastermind is for higher level strategy.
And
It's kind
it's
of
not step by step. Like it's not something that's step by step. What do I do step by step sort of
right.
thing.
Which is why revenue level wise, we look for those of you making 6 figures and above, technically, because it's not a group coaching program where it's like, what do I do next? Right. It's you have momentum and you need to make higher level strategy. You don't want to do it on your own. You want decision feedback. You want to kind of get out of your own way. There's mindset things that we overcome,
Mhm.
because as you get into each level, um, when big opportunities come your way, it's at like laser coaching. So we have, somebody who was approached by a really big online retailer and needed to work through, do I
She
take
basically
this?
wanted to, like, talk out the decision.
Yeah. Do I take this thing? What if my price point's not there? So we like were able to coach her through like how to get her price point down, what to negotiate with the buyer at this big retail shop, so it's like that kind of conversation. So if you're
Yeah.
interested, mastermind, hands up, we will have the team reach out to you. So um Daily Threads, let us know if you want us to reach out. Alex and Crans, let's reach out to you, and Three Best Bakery. And then May over here, we want you back.
Yeah, May and Emily over on the Facebook
Emily
side. 3
Gallardo.
Best Bakery is already in it. I think you're reading the names on there. So,
No, I
when you
said,
mhm,
oh, sorry, Bakery Tico.
yeah, Bakery Tico.
Yep.
Um, okay.
All right.
So,
So, holiday huddle. So, this is something we're
yeah,
doing in our mastermind next
we
week.
are. We are. And I was thinking that surface level, I was thinking about, like, for me and you, what our version of holiday huddle is, right? There's the one that we're going to work through with our masterminders, but I was thinking, like, one of the things that, because it is a visioning day version of holiday huddle, so in this session we're going to go through marketing ideas. We're going to really work on, like, what our revenue goals are, which I thought we could set some revenue goals for the holiday season. But I think overall, one of the big things too is that um I'm curious if you all have thought of, like, one word that would describe your holiday season. So I thought that would be a fun exercise for today. And then the other thing too, as I was on my walk this morning, which I was, like, so proud of myself for even going for a walk because I was so tired. But I thought we could all commit together to supporting small businesses too. Like, what does that look like woven into fourth quarter? So I think those are just kind of like a brain dump of what was going through my head this morning. But I thought that would be fun to, like, work through to get you all inspired about what's coming up. So the one word thing, but also weaving in there, how we're going to all do this together as small businesses.
So, okay, so let's start with the word. So
Okay.
we every year we would do this, and we kind of got this from Biz Chicks, Natalie Ekdahl, and because we would go to
She would
her
do it for word of the year for the
word of the
beginning of the
year.
year. Hmm.
Yeah. So, and she would, when we would go to her live event, we would write on rocks. And so this was one of mine. I still have it on my desk. I actually did two things. So I did profit or pivot because I was pivoting my business at that point. That was when I was
Uh-huh.
transitioning. And then the other side was profit. I wanted to be profitable. And
Hmm.
then Mina bought me this, which I also have because you all know I deal with scarcity. So
Mhm.
abundance
Oh,
is a
yeah, I forgot
word.
about that thing.
It's right here at my desk, thinking of you. So as we're thinking about the holiday season, it could be something like Renee says, joyful.
Mhm. Oh,
Adriana
I have
says,
mine too.
recharge.
So, I have 3 of them. They're kinda scraped up. So, I have happiness was one of my words, and this is word of the year. I do think it's slightly different for me right now. Ebb and flow, which one word doesn't have to be, it just doesn't have to be one word, and the other one was nudge. So, for fourth quarter, having it be a word that you can kinda come back to, I like the idea of doing this for fourth quarter because, pun intended, it's whatever season you're in. So what season and mindset are you going to be in for the holiday season? And how can you attach that to a word? Um, so
So Debbie at Do Good Adventure says exhilarating. Just Beyond the Cottonwoods, balance. Sally Hoffman designs follow through.
I love it.
Sabria says connected with family and community. I like that.
Danson Hughes Studio says fun. Janet says lit. Alina says abundance.
Good one, right?
Melissa says profitable.
Thankful from my attic chest, right? So when you're kind of pushing into this quarter, which is going to be a busy quarter. I mean, hopefully for all of you it's so busy that you're like,
Hmm.
you're feeling, I don't want you all to feel overwhelmed, but I do want you to feel busy. But as you're thinking about that and you have these words, maybe you write it somewhere and you look to your actions in your day to day and say, am I aligned with this word that I want?
Hmm.
you
Right.
know so if it's thankful and things are happening and something goes wrong or something goes right, it's also I'm thankful for the lesson I've learned from the thing that's gone wrong, right? Or I'm thankful that these things are happening and it's great. Joyful, right? Do you find joy in the things you're doing on a day to day? Can you make it more joyful? What can you do to kind of like make that the season feel that way for yourself, as well as, you know, front facing, right? Like, so focus, we're getting a lot of action words. So
Yeah.
this is a Q4 word of your quarter.
Yeah. So somebody had said commit. So let's say you had to make a decision and no, no, let me back up. Let's say your decision, Paul Prince Bakery said commit. So as he or she is going through the holiday season, then there's like so many ideas coming up like what do I do? Where am I going? Oh, I really want to try this. I want to try this, and they had already written down things that they were going to commit to, then that's when you can pull back a little bit and know that, oh, okay, I really, what the thing I wanted to feel was I wanted to feel like I really stood with commit, right? So it helps you kind of discern how you move forward as you're going through because you'll start to get like really busy. So like Jacqueline said, if your word is consistent, then are you being consistent? If your words are peace and joyful, then can you say no to some things that aren't aligned with that? Because there'll be things this holiday season that you'll have to say yes to and other things that you have to say no to, so and then it's easier when you're like, oh, okay, this doesn't align with how I wanted to feel, what I wanted my word to be, because I know that this is what I wanted to do. For me, I was trying to think of like, okay, I'm kind of like on the same boat as Maureen, where it's going to be kind of like focus, but I think that ultimately the word for me, because I want to take a lot of action, but I want to stay focused, but I want to declutter. So I was thinking it could be declutter because I've been kind of in that mode of only working on the things that have risen to the top for me. Like I have purge a whole bunch of stuff from the closets, for example, but there's other projects on my list that I'm just like, okay, those can be till later. So I'm kind of decluttering my life in a way, or my schedule, or the things I feel like I'm supposed to do. So I'm kind of still playing around with the idea of, or playing around with what word I really want it to be, because I want to stick with it for 3 months. So that's kind of where it leads to.
Yeah. Okay, so you all have come up with that word. Now, another thing we're going to do with our masterminders next week in this visioning day is we're going to work on some other words. And so I want us to shift to that and think about I'm just trying to find it on our we have a whole sheet for them to fill out. Um so
What do you mean, other words?
for what their customers are going to feel. So okay, so the other side of this is what I'd love for you all to do is drop in. Then when you're showing up for your customers, if we could pick 2 to 3 words that your customers would say about you. So if they were to speak about your brand, share about your brand, what would be some words that you would want them to feel or say or see that you think that would be a way that you want them to talk about you this season, right? So it might be like creative, festive, high quality, So what are some words, because I want you all to start thinking about those words of how you want to appear outward facing to your customers, so that the same way that you want to feel a certain way internally, you want to be structured, you want focus. How do you want to live by some words that when you're putting things out there, when you're showing up on social media, that people are like, oh, so for example, for May's company, she says unique and quality, right? So when
Yeah.
people look at it, they're like, oh, that's unique. And then looks like it's really good quality. So
This
share
is
some of
the
the,
connection piece of it. So as you're showing at the holiday season, we show up in the world different ways. And so you have your word for showing up, but you know, at the end of the holiday season, how do you want people to look back and think, okay, I understand that this person, I don't know, represented this for me, because they connected the dots for me.
Mhm,
So it's like when you think about that brand, there's some connection piece that happened.
mhm. It could be festive, right? It could be like friendly, great customer service. Because if you think about it too, when we're referring, because the thing, and this is, we teach this in multi-stream machine, but one, we are all showing up and pushing out to our customers. And when you're on social media, at least on Instagram, for example, they're not allowing us to really reach new people. Sometimes with reels, but otherwise it's just whoever's following you. So to reinforce your brand and to reinforce that feeling, what are you going to share? That's going to so Armistina Cookie says joyful, festive, and inspirational. I mean, I was just looking at her cookies and she has some really cool ones for Halloween. And she was all sort of dressed up, right? So right now during this season, it may not be joyful, but it's for sure festive,
Yeah.
right? Um, and maybe it's fun. Because Mina says cute and convenient for her brand, right? For the product boss, a big word for us is fun. Like
Yeah.
we want to be creative and we want to be fun. So that when you see us and you show up online, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have fun, right? Hanging out with us.
Right, but I think fun in like I think one of our words also is educational,
Hmm.
so we do it in different ways. So I think for the holiday season though, like cute and convenient for little labels is my overall brand that I'm always I take two words and I make sure I'm, those two words essentially. But for the holiday season, like showing up, I'm not sure. I have thought about it for the product boss though, and I think that the word is supportive. So when you all think about the product boss from the holiday season, you'll think supportive, right? So for I'll just give an example. For all of you, Maureen, for example, Rachel, everybody that basically came to us in 2020, we showed up a lot, right? So there was a time where we spent some time together. And then now that you're looking back on it, how do you feel about the product boss? So that's that word, right? That's the connecting piece. Like, okay, how do you feel? How did we show up? In my mind, it was probably two words: leaders, encouraging leadership. You know, so it was almost like pushing you to sell when you didn't want to sell, but encouraging you because it was quite hard. Really, really hard. So, um, that's what I mean for the season that you're in, that you can look back on that.
Hmm. Renee says product boss lifeline. Thank you, Renee.
Oh,
So
thank you.
the Trey company, she's been in our community for a while. I was looking back at our DMs and it was from a while ago, but she's really been showing up and doing a lot of visibility. So she does these cool wood box trays that have like it's for Lego building. So it's a place to keep all like the Lego packages. It has like a little slit to put the
It
Lego
has like the
instructions.
baseboard, the Lego baseboards.
Yeah, and then it has
Mhm.
the boards they can build. So it basically contains your Lego,
Mhm.
which if you have Lego in your family, which we do, it's
Mhm.
something. So she just so let's just talk about me as a new customer to her. So I've seen her, I've even communicated with her, completely forgot about her brand. Plus um she hadn't launched it yet. So I didn't know what she sold. I remembered her name, right? And then
Uh-huh.
she's been showing up a lot online and she's been doing a lot of like IGTVs and she's been doing reels and just really showing up. So she as a customer, she started showing up in our feed. So all of a sudden I start clicking on it and I'm like, oh, this is what she sells. Like it connected for me, these Lego boxes. So I DM'd her and I was like, there she's totally sold out. And I was like, hey, I would love to buy 3 of these. When are they back in? She
Mhm.
responded immediately. So just remember, as a customer, she responded immediately. She's like, they're coming back in the fall. We're coming out with this color next, like blah, 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 blah. And she went through like customer service questions. So she was super
Uh-huh.
helpful because I'm trying to gear up for the holidays and to order gifts ahead of time because things are going to sell out. I'm starting to plan for it. Your customers are going to be planning as well. So I would say if I was describing her, I would say it's creative. And I would
Mhm.
say if I were to reference her business, I would say she has really great customer service.
Mhm.
She responded quickly. She answered my questions. She made it really easy for me to buy it. She's like, "Oh, I can add you to the wait list," right? So
Yeah.
if you think about that for all of you, think about what you can do. It's called the Trey Company. So the underscore TRA underscore company. It's Trey spelt fancy. Um
Mhm. With a long A.
yeah, long A, thank you.
Mhm.
So really cool. And she's sold out right now. So DM her because I was like, you need to get a wait list going, right? And she's responsive. And so that as a parent looking for a gift for my kids, not only is it a creative, cool, unique gift that I'm also going to send to my nephew, but also the customer service.
Mhm.
So, sorry if you're still watching the trade company because it sounds like I'm sending you a bunch of customers.
Oh my goodness. But that's the word then, right?
Right.
Responsive. Because I think when we get busy, for example, um, it then let's say she gets really busy and she's like inundated and all the things, but she goes back to that word and she's like, I really want people to know I'm responsive. I want them to feel that from me. Then for her, that's what she focuses on is that word. I'm going to be responsive this holiday season. I want them to feel responsive. Or I want my customers to describe me as being responsive.
So, Amanda, good question, says, what does finding these descriptive words help with? So, why would them coming up with these words, how would that help them?
So I think the words when you start taking action and you start moving forward, especially in the holiday season, you'll start to lose track of all the things that you have to make decisions on, all the you'll just get overwhelmed. You'll get overwhelmed. And then so the words are able for you to kind of come back and ground yourself to it. So for example, if I'm moving forward in the holiday season and my word is what are some of the people's words that they want to feel? They want to feel joyful. If my words were okay, I want to be joyful, like internally I want to be joyful and I'm like feeling overwhelmed and I'm like I have to do this and I have to do that and I'm going through my whole entire list of all the things and I come back to my word and I think I really wanted to feel joyful during this time. So I'm going to look at my list of to-dos and I'm going to go through the things that make me feel joyful. And I'm just going to say no to the other things that I can put on the shelf. So anything that makes me in particular feel joyful. This varies for everybody. Obviously, joy brings out different things to different people. So I'm just going to do that. And then I can say no to the other things. And it creates a easy yes and easy no. And so that's how you want to feel. And then we kind of took it another layer of how do you want to be remembered during this holiday season? How would you want your customers to feel and describe your brand, right? After the holiday season. So let's pretend that joyful was that word, but responsive was the other one. So in that, it's just another layer of, okay, I'm looking at my to-do list. I'm supposed to be doing all those things. They want custom stuff from me. They want, priority shipping. What do I do? I feel so overwhelmed. Well, you know what? I'm going to focus on being responsive. And that's what I'm going to do because I know that that's how I want to be remembered. And all the rest is just over delivery, let's just say, So it just helps you stay grounded in a lot of ways because you're going to have a lot of pulls when it comes to a lot of pulls and pushes during the holiday season. So it just helps you kind of get your brain right.
Yeah. So I hope that helps in terms of just sort of thinking about it, because when we're in the holiday season, and for example, the tray company, as I brought up and I posted, it's the underscore TRA underscore company, posted it over here on Facebook. But when me having this experience in the last couple of days with them, right? Messaging, being responded to, um, because of us being the product boss, she actually ended up getting me 3 trays made early and I was able to order them. So like she went above and beyond. Now that's cool, right? Like, but for me, that responsiveness and kind of feeling taken care of, um, and being able to get these things ahead of time, I'm talking about that today with all of you, right? So it goes two ways. Where as a happy customer, because I've not been a happy customer before with certain people, not because they haven't gone out of their way, more like their delivery was bad, their customer service was bad, they didn't respond, they made me feel like I was at fault, right? Those kinds of things, which come with selling products and dealing with customer service. But I had a very good experience. So guess what's going to happen? I'm going to get these. I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to share it. I'm going to tell my sister-in-law about it. And people are like, what does so and so want for a gift? I'm going to tell my friends about it, like the Lego people, and be like, these are really cool. They're great for traveling. And I'm going to keep talking about the brand for them, which is part of what we share in Multi Stream Machine. And we talk about it, right? But like Do you have raving fans? Are people talking about you? Because you can only reach so many people within these social media channels, right? Because of the algorithm and because of the way they work. You can grow your email list, you can reach out to them, but a lot of the organic growth for all of you is also going to come from word of mouth. And that
Mhm.
word of mouth is going to come from their experience interacting with your business.
Yeah.
So, how do they feel? What would they say about you, right?
What
And
made
how,
you memorable?
yeah. Because for all my candle companies out there, like, what is making you memorable, right? If they, especially if it's online, they can't smell it. So, what
Mhm.
part of your brand is the thing that's going to make it
Ooh,
the
I really like this one because Greg put in a word for this.
lux,
Yeah, Lux. And
right?
I think that that is a good example because it's not like responsive like customer service because that does make you memorable. I think it's easier for people to like wrap their mind around. But let's say that Greg's word is Lux and he wants people to remember him. They associate his name with Lux,
Mhm.
his brand with Lux. And so when they're talking word of mouth, just like what Jacqueline said, they're like, yeah, it's a really Lux brand, you know? So it makes it where, okay, now it's like, okay, he wanted to represent that for them and they received it from him. And then they are distributing it via word of mouth.
Right. And he may need to use that word. He might need to drop in that word like luxe fragrances or I would say even
Hmm.
for you, Greg, it's like rich, like richness.
Uh huh.
Like it like luxe is a hard sometimes maybe a harder thing to get to, but maybe it's that richness, the richness of the feeling, of the essence, of the sense, of the
And like depth and everything.
yeah, like
Uh-huh.
and obviously pick whatever word you want, but do you see how that kind of starts to work where it's like, oh wow, like I feel that way versus Debbie at Do Good Adventures, which is also a candle company. Both of them are in our masterminds with us. Hers is like uplifting,
Mhm.
bright, cheery. Like it has a very different look and feel. Um, and and I would feel a different way and I would buy both. Kayla Gray, for example, right? She sells candles and fragrances, right? So she
Mhm.
also has a different perspective, but it's not only your product, but it's also the way you're presenting online, right? Are they do they feel inspired by you?
Mhm.
So think through these words. I know it's like a big question for you right now, but it's something to set you off on your day with, where you're just thinking through, how do I want my customers to feel? What would I want them to say about me if they were going to share this business? And it can be more than three.
Mhm.
I remember having a job interview at BCBG, or was it BB? One of the two, as a fashion designer. And on the wall was a list of 10 words that the whole business went through. Now, gets more into your mission, vision, and values, but let's just say for the holiday season, you all came up with 10 words and you measured what you did against that. So I think it was BB. BB, one of their words, like third word down, was sexy because BB sold sexy clothing.
Mhm.
So if it didn't represent sexy, then it didn't make sense for the brand.
Right. And for like BB for the holiday season, it's going to have holiday stuff, but it probably has to be very sexy.
Right.
And her customer, their customer, let's say, would have to be like, "Oh, okay, I feel sexy from that."
Right.
Right?
Right.
So it's just a connection point of they want the word, they want to be remembered for sexy and they attract the right customer,
So, for
right?
example, they may not have a BB customer. I know, I don't even think they're in business at this point, but they may not
Mhm.
have her cozied up on a couch with like a warm, like cup of
Yeah,
coffee
definitely not,
with like soft plush socks and like the fireplace ahead, right? It wouldn't be that. It'd be more like sexy outfit in the snow. Like
Mhm.
it would be a different look and feel because of the way they want the customer to feel and talk about it, and it represents the values of the brand.
Yeah.
So this it could get much bigger, but we're not going to go into like the whole value base of your brand right now, but
Right,
let's just
right.
think about it for
That's
the season.
almost too big to wrap your mind around,
Yeah.
but just remember this is your busy season. So we're playing around with it during your busy season because we're going to see if it connects or not.
Mhm.
And if people are, remembering you for those words, and if you feel good in the word that you picked for yourself.
Mhm.
So it'll just be, we're kind of playing around like creatively. You, as the boss of your business, you will have to, especially in your busy season, make a connection with your customer. And then this is kind of like, let's play around with like how you want to be remembered and how you want to be talked about and what brand you want to create. Because oftentimes small businesses, they become their own brand, right? A lot of the brand is reflected in who they are, but it's a big jump to start with. You
Mhm.
know, it's usually like you start off with a certain brand and you kind of work your way there, but branding evolves for sure. So this is kind of, let's start with this and see where it takes us.
All right. So that's your homework, friends. So, in just the last few minutes, one of the words that we are focusing on for the product boss, which is something we kind of discovered last year, obviously through 2020 and really supporting you all through the last quarter. And that's where Mina and I are switching over is in support. So, in support of small businesses, in support of small product based businesses, in support of all of you, right? So, this is when we're shifting over and thinking, how can we support you? How can we highlight you? What can we do? So, just so you all know, and you will get a message about this, and if you haven't already, we have the small business shopping directory. So, how many people
Hmm.
here are already listed inside of the small business shopping directory for Shop One and Five? So, on Instagram, Mina's coming in from the Shop One and Five account. If
Hmm.
you haven't followed us there yet, follow us at Shop One and Five on Instagram. You can like the page on Facebook. And also, you can head over to shop1and5.com and take the pledge to make 1 in 5 of your purchases from a small business online or offline. So that is us. Even though we're all small business owners, we are also consumers and customers that are also friends with and family with other people that are consumers and customers. So, what we're asking for all of you to do this holiday season in support of each other is to share the Shop 1 in 5 pledge and to share the small business shopping directory. So the
Hmm.
Shop 1 in 5 pledge is to ask people to make a conscious choice when they're out in the world on like what are they doing? What are they buying? Are they buying at least 1 in 5 of their purchases from a small business, right?
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
and then the other side of this is a lot of people are already in the Shop 1 in 5 directory. We had released it very slowly to MSM students originally, to people who are already in the directory, and to our masterminders. It is not an automatic thing. It is a completely separate website. It's a small business shopping directory. So it's spelled Shop 1 in 5, and I'll have the team drop in the links for all of you here.
Hmm.
We are right now opening it up to all of you to come join the Shop 1 in 5 small business shopping directory. So some people here have said they have 3 listings, 2 listings, one
Yeah.
listing.
It's a lot
Um,
of our multi-stream machine students and our masterminders that are in it right now. We've slowly rolled it out because Jacqueline and I literally created a platform with developers, designers. I mean, it was a project. So, in order for the tech to be tested, we had to do it slowly. And so now we are going full force into it.
right.
And so we are super excited because it's just going to come just in the nick of time of you know, um, we had a press release go out 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago.
On
I
the
can't remember.
16th.
Yeah, on the 16th. And then we are starting our ads being run to it. Where we're just excited. I think that, with all of you, the holiday season, one of the goals, even for last year, was to support small the entire season. And so I think that that is a goal for a lot of people. And so if that is something that speaks to you and that you would love to be a part of, or that you just want to share it, which is perfectly fine too, or if you want to shop it, it doesn't have to all be small. The pledge is to shop 1 in 5 of your purchases, right? So that's 20% of your purchases. And that's so super helpful because as a community, Jacqueline and I, we like to do things together. So if we do this together, we will create a bigger impact, a bigger movement, and it will just help all of us. So it's something really exciting. And now we're excited because the platform is ready for everybody to sign up. And there's already like hundreds of people in there already.
Yeah. So when you go take a look at it, you can go to shop the directory. So as you're looking for things for Halloween, for the fall, for holiday gifts, please all of you shop that directory, right? A rising tide lifts all boats. It's going to take all of us to send traffic there as well, right? Mina and
Uh-huh.
I are doing press, we're running ads. We just got confirmation of being on a morning show in the next few weeks to talk about this in New York. There's bigger things. Forbes is writing an article on it. So there's a lot of press coming our way. We're doing a big push for breast cancer awareness and focusing on breast cancer survivors that have product-based businesses. So there are going to be other opportunities. Elle is building out a gift guide that we're going to send out to everyone. So there's a lot of really cool opportunities. So if you're thinking about it, I want to offer you all a discount code. So if you go to shop1and5.com and click on get listed, there you can use the code launch. We are going to send an email out about this, but you can use the code launch to get 50% off of your second, third, fourth, fifth listing. So there is the listing price for one
Mhm.
category for your product, and then there are if you want to do multiple listings in other categories. So let's say you sell kids clothes and women's clothes and men's clothes, you could get discounted off the second and third listing 50% off of that. There's also education built in. So we have these visibility workshops that are really going to help you as you move into this holiday season. Um, uh, and go and do that. Really quick over on Instagram for our team, Luna Bella gave us a person that's a producer on the Today Show. So let's grab that. But we have a press team that we're also going to try and bring awareness to all of you. So if you're interested in it, head over, take a look, get signed up, get listed in the directory, because that's where Mina and I are moving into for this last quarter of sending traffic to the directory for people to discover you, to support you, and to buy from you, including all of us supporting each other. So just wanted
Yeah,
to drop that
that
in.
I really think it's key that we all support each other. Jacqueline and I are only 2 people, and we have limited pockets even, limited effort, limited time. As much as we want to pay, I'm real talk here. As much as we're gonna pay for press and everything, the thing that is going to make this thing move is the people in the directory, everybody doing it together. So, I think that there needs, like, as much as you can, if you don't wanna be in the directory this year, then at least share it and
Mhm.
then help the movement because it will only help the economy. It will help your local economy, your national economy, the global economy. It will help the women that had, there was something like 800,000 women left the workforce over 2020 in the span of like 2 months. So all these different things that it's really important that we do it together.
Yeah. So make an effort on your own parts. Make an effort to go shop the directory. New people are being listed over and like day over day, right? So
Hmm.
it's a really cool directory. You can search really specifically into products. You can shop it. It's not a sales platform. It's a directory. It literally links
Um,
from our site
it's
off
like
to
a
your
visual
site.
directory is how I
Yeah.
like to describe it. So they find you on there, but they go to your website to do the transactions.
And would it work for wholesale if you sell wholesale only? I I think what we know about this directory is that it's going to move your SEO up, your ranking up. It's going to really
Hmm.
help you become discoverable because if you know about SEO, it's also about your backlinks and who else is talking about you and it moves you up. Like right now, you know, we have a couple of businesses on here where they're second and third top referring site. So I think if you're in the mode to do something where you're like, I want to be there, I want to be visual, because for example, we've told our friends over at Meredith Corp like that they can
Hmm.
go and look at this as they're looking for articles to write.
Yeah.
So if you feel like that's worth your business to be present somewhere and to help your website, then I would say do that. Otherwise, it's a place for you to show up. So what's the best way to share it on Instagram? Make sure you follow at the product. No, sorry, at Shop One in Five. Elle
Hmm.
is running that account. She posts things that you all can post when you sign up for the directory. We also have stickers that you can share to say like shop from small businesses, shop one in five. You could really reinforce it. You can let your followers know, hey, this season I took this pledge. Go here and take the pledge. And also in an effort to take the pledge, shop this directory. And you could even share some of the things that you're shopping from it.
Yeah.
Greg
So
said it's
Greg
his
said
second.
second referred site for him. Annika said the same thing, and so did Debbie of Stitch Stories. So our goal is to get you more visibility, but ultimately the bigger goal here is to support small businesses so we can all help the economy, and especially a year after 2020. And
Mhm.
so right now is when all of you are the hero, literally the backbone of the economy. So it's just a really exciting thing to be a part of, but also a lot of effort. So let's, we can do it together and, we're getting as much press as we can. And, you know, making it happen.
So do us a favor and just follow at Shop One in Five on Instagram. Head over to shop1in5.com. You could take the pledge, which just means dropping your email in. And if you're interested for your business right now, we are running this 50% off your multiple listings discount code with launch, LAUNCH, that you're all part of the founding members if you get in, especially for this holiday season. So, my friends, thank you so much. I hope that this was inspiring and helpful for you today. And please just share the Shop One in Five pledge because remember, a rising tide lifts all boats and we need each other to make this movement happen. So,
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you.
everybody. It was fun.
Bye.